Yep, just above freezing on the north side, and it's not much warmer on the south side. What I wanted to say was how I select my starter wood for my campfires, for my barbecues in my location area, because each location has different attributes for fire starting, and I don't have any birch bark, not in my area. I don't have any fat wood. The immediate woods that I have to hand are mainly, majority, 80%, 90% willow, some plum, and something called acacia. These are the three main wood types, sources of wood in my area. Or the willow falls, branches fall, collect them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it goes on all the way back down there. Now, if you look it up on the internet, it'll tell you that willow is waterproof. So even in, unless it's been eaten by bugs and it becomes punk wood, if it's just branches that are dead or fallen off, the only thing that is wet is the outer bark. And even so, although this is off the ground, I would want to start my fire. I would look for a piece of wood like this, where some of the bark is already peeling off, and I can just, okay, it's not so easy with one hand, and I always have short nails, and that, you see, going down to the thinner end is the wood that I would sort of wood I would select to start my fire, my kindling. Not necessarily use twigs with bark. So a lot of process getting the bark off some of the smaller pieces. Do it with a knife, of course. And you see, like this, for example, it's you see the dry, and you see this is just damp. It's not saturated. It's just because the bark has been holding the moisture, and it dries out very quick in a bit of a heat, in a bit of a flame. So again, this, and then eventually I will move up to pieces like this. They'll break. And again, you see the bark comes off. You see now the bark is actually very wet, spongy, moldy, but this will dry very, very quickly. The outer side, if I was to use my saw now and cut that, I can guarantee you it's dry. So if you have enough zoom, woof, what's the word I'm looking for here? I mean, you have enough power. You're not going to start a fire with a ferro rod on that kind of wood. But if you have something with a bit more woof to it, a bit more boom to it, you'll get that to go. We'll demonstrate it using commercial fire starting kit. What I'm trying to say is here that you don't necessarily need to start feather sticking and stuff. If it was peeing down a rain and I didn't have dry tinder and enough of it, then perhaps, but most of the time, the majority of the time, I don't need to. I think you might have seen me feather sticking once. It's not that I can't do it, I just don't see the point. So you see what I mean here, that it's not so easy just to peel the bark off, and this is dry, but when you're trying to get your fire started, the more of this you have without the bark on it, the more chances you're going to get of an initial ignition. And it doesn't come off, I mean, it's not that difficult to get it off. It takes time, but it's worth. Now that is bone dry. As I say, just commercial, everyday fire starter, a big box of matches. That's what you can say it is. Okay, as a striker on both sides. You see, just break one off. You could do two if you want. Keep them in a sealed box because everything tends to dry out and becomes useless. So I'm just going to give this a strike on here. Hold it a little bit to burn your fingers. Don't drop it in the ash. You just put it on top of something and snuff it out. Put that straight back in the box and seal the box so no damp gets in. And let's start to add some of our twigs. And as I say, there's no panic. This will go for 5 minutes. There's no wind today, which is either not for me or against me, so to speak. And if you have some of this dry bark that you pulled off, well, use it. Use whatever you've got. Newspaper, old magazines, whatever you've got. Don't be shy. Don't think it's not bushcrafty, so I can't do it. Because that is not on. It doesn't matter if it collapses now, it will collapse in the place it needs to be. Okay guys, it's basically as easy as that. I won't lose that fire now, that'll be a fire. Okay, like usual, I'm using the light as usual again because of different things, but let's see if we can get this burger on olive oil as solidified. Wally, get your nose out. You don't get my burgers, mate. Hands a bit on the dirty side. Smoky Joe's. One, not your burger. We invited all these dogs down here. Not the best plan in the world, trying to make food in the open with dogs roaming about. Yes. No burgers for you. Okay, I moved the camera over because you couldn't see anything for smoke in that general direction. A lot of hungry, interested dogs in the way. So let's try and flip these over. Ah, you see it's coming away beautifully, which means it's cooking nicely on there. Now, I don't have this some fantastically high temperature. I don't believe in cooking at ultra high temperatures unless it's a requirement, and it isn't a requirement. I just want to cook it nice and slowly. So let's just sit, drink our beer, prepare our bread and our cheese. It's over there, our burgers. The rest of the ingredients are in here, some onion. And let's see if we can get this done before the sun sets. I don't know if you can see my watch underneath this big coat sleeve. As it says, mine's 1700, but it's really 1600. But it'll be dark quite quickly. It's so quiet, beautiful down here. The sun is going down behind the trees over there. No piggy porkers, unfortunately. No piggy porkers. Just ducks. Plenty of ducks. Some smoked cheese, cheddar smoked. Right, left and centre. So, That is really a good burger. Now, I'm not going to torture you guys watching me eat this, because I want my beer, which is over there. I have a big audience around here. What I wanted to say was, go over here. I mean, you don't. I was just watching people on YouTube, you know. There's some good stuff on YouTube and there's a lot of crap. A lot of people cooking on stone at the moment, or rock, and they're making out like, you know, it's some new invention. People have been cooking on rock since time immemorial. The thing is that if you're going to suspend a rock, or make a bridge of a rock, this is extremely thick. You have a very good chance of it splintering off, chipping away, or actually breaking. So actually mounting the block, the rock, sorry. I am fortunate enough to be on my own land, so to speak, on my own base, so I mounted it on sand. Sand in itself won't burn. I mean, it won't burn. Basically, it cushions the rock, and the rock has been gently heated with the fire above it, not underneath it. Okay, it's a slower cooking process, but as you see, it works. That's all I wanted to say. It's not rocket science. There's a rock over there and there's a rock here. The only thing I need to do is to find my wire brush, some way just brushing the ash off. Also, I can put pans straight onto the rock as well. I don't need to use a grill or a griddle or whatever. It's just another way of cooking, but it isn't rocket science and it isn't anything new. So all I wanted to say, thanks for watching. I don't know how this is going to work out, how long it's going to be, what I'll edit in, what I'll edit out, maybe it'll be 2 films, I don't know. I just want to finish my burger. It's light is fading. I'm not sure if I'll be actually lit up. I don't have any lights down here. So thanks for watching. Over and out for now.